Anyway, moving away from the remakes into just like straight modern horror, we got a copy of Rob Zombie's 31. I've heard mixed things about this, much like you do with every fucking Rob Zombie movie. I liked House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. The other stuff that I've seen, with the exception of his Halloween, which I think is basically garbage, I'm fairly indifferent to, but I arguably need to revisit all of them so I can form a proper opinion. This one I've never seen, though. Our next movie, though, I have seen several times, and that was Don't Breathe. Was really hyped on this when it came out. I think it was one of the better horror movies of that year, and I think everybody owes it to themselves to give it a look at least once. Fairly disturbing little home invasion with a twist movie. Definitely a review coming soon. Pretty fucking excited to show that to Jessica, actually, because I think she'd get a kick out of it. This is another movie that is a couple years old at this point, but very good. It's one that definitely polarized some people because of some of the social politics in there. I don't necessarily disagree with them at all, actually. It didn't bother me one bit. But I'm fairly adept at ignoring social politics or political politics in movies when I just don't care for them. If it's something I don't agree with, that doesn't ruin the entire fucking movie for me. I'm able to see the redeeming qualities, and I think most people should, if they're not so hung up on politics that they're going in wanting to hate the shit. Just my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. There's an awful lot of people out there, though, that need to start watching movies before they open their fucking mouths about them because it makes you look like an idiot. Just friendly advice. Now this, along with our next film, actually have reviews on the channel already. First up is You're Next. This is just some quality, straight fucking, forward home invasion shit. Not going to say too much about it because there's already a review. Really good movie, though, as was this one. It also has a review on the channel at the moment, and that is Final Girl. Definitely check both those reviews out and check both the movies out. I think they're available for streaming somewhere. I don't remember if I looked into it. Now this one I am pretty stoked to finally check out, and that is Drag Me to Hell by Sam Raimi. This is one that got a lot of hype at the time. Back then, though, I was like totally against anything that wasn't a splatter movie. So if it was like supernatural horror, I just fucking passed immediately. I've heard a lot of good things, though, including from Jessica. This is one of those few horror movies she saw back then, and she gives it pretty high praise as well. And then we got, one that I would never have watched back then, but I kind of got pretty into now, and that is Sinister. I haven't seen the other movies in this series yet. I think there's a couple more. I enjoyed this one, though. Anyway, moving on, we got a copy of The Lazarus Effect. I didn't hear too much about this, though. I did think it looked cool when I saw trailers for it, like a couple years ago or whatever, whenever it was, like, new. I was intrigued by it. I just never got around to checking it out, so I was pretty stoked to see it in the box, because now I can, and there probably will be a review for it one way or the other. Don't know too much about it, though I know about, like, the principle they're fucking with in the movie. And it seems like it might be a lot of fun. This is definitely one that I was stoked to get because I love me some alien abduction movies, and I arguably have not collected enough of them. The Fourth Kind is some pretty bone-chilling shit if you have interest in that stuff. And that's all I'm going to say. There's going to be a pretty in-depth discussion on this with my lady coming soon. I hope, if everything, like, the stars align and we actually get productive on that end, you guys will see that, but fucking amazing. And then finally we got a pair of movies here that I picked up simply because the first one stars Daniel Radcliffe, old Harry Pooper himself. My family are all massive fanatics for Harry Potter, and I've just never really been into it. So I'm hoping if I can become a fan of the kid, like outside of, Harry Potter, we can at least have that in common. So I grabbed that, and I grabbed the sequel to it as well, which is The Woman in Black 2. Angel of Death. They're both Hammer films, and Let Me In was also a Hammer film, if I remember. So I'm, like, pretty confident that some of the modern Hammer films are pretty fucking awesome, and I'm stoked to go through and check them out for sure. So I lied. Those actually weren't the final movies. A couple of these got away from me here because they were sitting over there where I made this stack. This was actually supposed to follow The Fourth Kind, and that is Dark Skies. This is one that my kid actually turned me on to. I was avoiding it for the longest time because it's like from the producers of Paranormal Activity or whatever, and I still kind of hate those movies. My mind is opening up a bit more for supernatural horror, but that ain't the shit for me. I don't really want the nanny cam movies, if you know what I mean. I thought that it was just going to be like a ghost movie, based on what I had seen of it, like in the trailer that I saw, I believe. And it turns out that it is kind of like, it starts like that, but then it pretty quickly turns into a fairly sinister little alien abduction movie. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Me and my kid, you know, obviously fell in love with it and have watched it several times since. And then finally we have a copy of The Descent. I fucking loved this movie since it came out, and I still fucking love it today. I think it holds up really well. Sequel is pretty damn good too, so once I get that in my clutches, there will be reviews coming for them soon. Now earlier I mentioned, you know, pulling Lazarus Effect out of a box, and that box was this massive fucking cardboard box over here that Jessica spent about 3 months filling up with movies for me. She's really good about like hitting up Facebook Marketplace and then asking me what I need. And the fun part about it is, with the Rona being on and everything, I kind of forgot that she had did that. So I didn't even really know that I was getting this box of movies till I got to her house on this last visit. Let me tell you, hell of a surprise. So thanks again, my love. I'm just not going to be able to heap enough praise on you in this, and in the interest of not making it too cringy for these fine folks, this will probably be the last time. But cheers to you. I'm going to take a bong hit here, then you fine folks are going to enjoy the trailer for The Lazarus Effect.
Same dream.
Good morning, Dr. McConnell.
Good morning, James.
This whole process started with the Lazarus serum. The goal here is simple: to bring someone back from the dead.
Event 1. In 3, 2, 1.
No effect.
Maybe if we up the dosage next time, if we up... You okay?
You are playing God with a bunch of dead animals.
If we're going to be asking big questions, we have to be ready for the answers.
Whoa, that's too much neural activity.
What the hell's going on here? We're gonna duplicate the experiment.
3, 2, 1.
Zoe, she's been electrocuted. Clear? And you're not gonna lose her.
You're talking about bringing someone back from the dead.
No. Hey, sweetheart, it's me.
Did I just die?
You okay?
I think something's wrong.
You've just been through a traumatic experience.
You need to let your body heal. What?
It's not Zoe in there.
I went somewhere.
That was a dream.
It was hell.
Zoe, we can help you.
It's too late for that. You have no